Hello, minasan. This is Yuki, your realist Himidareishin Bio Elf, and today I would like to issue a huge apology to Kaijuu N8. 本当にすみませんでした. I feel really guilty for underestimating Kaijuu number 8 in the beginning. So, let me explain myself a bit. So the first thing I would like to emphasize is that it's very unusual for us to cheer on an Osan character like a middle-aged man as the main character of a shounen or seinen anime. And the reason is basically because it's extremely rare, and often Osan characters are supporting characters or minor characters. This is what is it like most of the times. I'm not gonna generalize, I know there are exceptions, but this is the kind of gist I get. Well, if you have noticed it, the majority of shonen protagonists or seinen protagonists are either high schoolers, middle schoolers, to a much lesser extent, university students or adults. So, this is the first point I would like to make. The second is the reason why I find Kafka really intriguing and also kind of pulled me into the show is the gap moe between his monster form design, the level of his power when he used his monster form, and also his real life personality. I mean, like, why would a person who's so strong ever be so humble and so considerate? I mean, he can literally afford to be arrogant and overconfident, and nobody would blame him for it because he has the power and he has the means to be literally at the top. But instead of relying on the monster power in a direct or indirect way, what he's trying to do during the examination or during the battles is literally just use his skills from as a cleaner, as monster cleaner, the career they have been doing since the past 6-7 years, and also literally try not to use the monster form as much as possible. Like, as long as he can avoid it, he doesn't do it. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting. The other thing is that I feel like this show is more character-driven rather than plot-driven. I mean, there is a plot, definitely a very interesting one, but a very good one. I would say I'm not particularly curious about what's gonna happen next. Be fair, like, it's kind of predictable. But the characters there, like Kafka, Kikoru, Hoshina, Mina, and everyone else, is what makes the show particularly interesting and makes you really want to keep going in it. And so, the next character I'd like to speak about is Kikoru, and I think the link between her and Kafka started because she's basically like the youngest, most talented, blessed character out there among all the new recruiters, while he's the maybe unluckiest, he's the oldest, he has 1% skill on his armor or whatever it is, kind of suit, and she sort of like find it funny to pick on him in the beginning. However, she also realized something is slightly wrong about him. Like, he has something about him that is further than meets the eye. So she knows he has some sort of hidden power because he lifted a wall van with just one arm. So it's definitely kind of abnormal. But, you know, like, during the exam, did he give her any reasons to doubt him until the very last moment where she was cornered by this really powerful monster, and he just like sort of destroyed it by one punch. So again, she discovered his secret, and they sort of became kind of closer or friendly because now she knows like a really serious secret of his. So, and she herself, she's extremely talented, and I really love her character. Like, of course, she's a Himedere too, so definitely I would love her. And yeah, she has a father complex. Don't get me started on that. I love that. And the other character I think many girls are already into him, who's Hoshina, the Chinese-looking guy who's like the vice president. Definitely he's overly talented with his sword skill. You know, like the typical guy coming from a very long line of sword masters or swordsmith or something like this. And he's very cunning, and definitely not planning to give up his post for Kafka next to Mina. No guy would want that, I understand. He recruited Kafka because of comic relief. The guy literally said, he's so funny, we need a guy like that in the team. Otherwise it's gonna be very serious, it's not gonna be funny. Besides the fact that he recruited him as comic relief, he is also suspicious around him. He thinks something is off. He thinks that he can do much more than he's showing he can. And he's not wrong, but we would rather we don't see Kafka as a genuine pig or getting dissected or anything. And definitely Kafka team are not doing a great job at hiding things. The next character I would like to again talk about, another major main reason why I'm gonna be keeping Kaijuu number 8 for the next week, is because of Mina. First of all, I love the name Mina. Aside for that, Mina is really cool, she's talented, she's smart, and also she's cool, strong, rational, and more importantly, she's happy that Kafka joined the team. Like, she's not really showing it. I think if you pay attention to those small details, you realize she's really happy that Kafka joined it, and she's looking forward to seeing him, you know, like powering up and being at higher position, so she can speak to him more comfortably. And the next final character I'd like to mention as a major reason why I really need to deliver this apology to Kaijuu number 8 is because Ichikawa Reino. So Ichikawa is talented, smart, and supportive, and surprisingly he's faithful to Kafka, and in the process of learning and improving himself. So clearly, as you have noticed, he has a lot of potential. The plot is fairly interesting because we are curious about the origin of Kaijuu, like why did this Kaijuu appear, why are they evolving, and especially about that really smart talking Kaijuu that appeared at the end of the examination. I think he's really dangerous and they need to be really careful around him. I hope that a lot of you cheer on Kaijuu number 8 and give it the support that it deserves. Thank you, bye bye.